Hey guys, welcome back. Now this one, you are gonna see some serious front line in here. So you got me standing, well, starting off in the southern section of the front, and you've got Black Bat A8T, 8 to T. So he's gonna be my sort of brother in arms over here. We've got our red team leader Haven playing in the sort of tech position. He should be hopefully helping us with units and getting us up the sort of tech tree. We've got Eloine that's playing in the sort of support role as well, which is kind of a tech position as well. I feel because every time I play around here, right, I support the front and I try to move up the technology tier as well. We've got Pommam playing in North Sea. We've got Iris, Irie 5 playing in the economy eco position. You've got fourth stage playing in air. Always super good to have a fantastic air player. You've got Kordenikos. So this young man was really uncomfortable playing in C. But you know what? Um, Sometimes you end up in positions where it's not your preferable place to play. I know I've certainly played played in those areas before, right? But you can still do well. You can still do well, and even if you don't do the best, and it's not your greatest performance, you know what? You can still do enough to help the squad out. Let's have a look at the opposition. I mean, their top player, he's gone in North Sea, right? So he wants to take up that sort of position there. Okay, you've got their second to last, least experienced player playing Southern Sea. Okay, so if you yeah, he's still a higher rank than our guy. You've got Gondar, Rondar. Thought that was a Lord of the Rings reference there for a minute. Playing France, you got T-Man moving up as well. He's asking for the Doran to move up with him. Now let's see. Oh, I can hear something. Ah, we're good. That's my ears playing tricks on me. Right, so it looks like they're trying to make a little bit of a coordinated effort over there, right? So, yeah, it was me. It was me that was getting hit. Josh, couldn't even remember that. Yeah, so you had Heaven. I'm gonna call him Red Team player because trying to pronounce that's gonna be a bit tricky. Yeah, he sent some pawns to help me out. So look, I lost two mexes, but they'll be back up. Right, I'm not overly concerned by that. This guy, look at him. Look at him getting all that free food. Right, he's getting all that free food. Now, one of the things I've done here is I've just ignored that metal spot. Right, that 4.3, amazing set of metal. Right, I've ignored it completely. Why? Because I want to get a foothold here super quick. Whilst he's building metal, right? I'm building LLTs. So what I want to do is make sure I can get the head start on that. I mean, yeah, look, they've gotten some of the rocks over here. They're doing well, but we'll see. We'll see if that sort of early lead in the economy will last. Right? Time will tell. I feel like my LOTs are going to get really good value. Well, I say that, and this just gets popped off. This one's getting good value, right? Even though he's not got a kill yet, he's done enough. He's done enough to fend off this little battalion of pawns, right? And now they're just they're just hitting off on this guy. He's not even fussed, or maybe he doesn't realize that he's getting hit. So one of the things about LLTs, right, is they do have a bit of a buff against commanders, right? So they do an extra little bit of damage that they would otherwise not do against other units. So now I'm feeling a little bit better. I've got a bit of an army there as well. So if now they want to push with their army of pawns, or even if they've got some rocket bots coming up, I feel like I've got enough there to do well for us. Look at this triple star, amazing. 2 star. Now, because of these guys hitting the commander, right? That gives them super experience just because it's the commander that they're hitting, right? Just because it's the commander that you're getting shots off on. Now, I do like this from Black Bat. He's got a res bot in there now. He's gonna go get that metal, and that's gonna help his economy significantly. And he should feel comfortable because I've got an LLT over here. So if these, like they're doing now, get a little bit too close, we're gonna get some hits off on them, right? Let's have a look. Yeah, he's got a good set of thugs coming out of this base right here, right? Coming out of the factory. This is the only problematic one. He's getting some hits off, right? Abd going in for the I call him Abd. Don't know why. Black Bat. Maybe it's because of this AAT thing, right? It reminds me of the German. They do the after parts, like aftermarket parts for the Audis. ABT Abd, right? For those who know, they know. Right now, I've got some rocket bots in. Now this is what I was kind of waiting for, because I needed an army of pawns just in case the blue team wanted to get up close and personal. But I needed my rocket bots to really take these guys out. Yeah, they're gonna outrange the LLTs, no problem at all. You see this, he's not really doing any real damage against the pawn. Reason being, at the furthest point of the laser, the damage they outputs drops off. So something to keep in mind. Normally, with them, those sorts of shots on a pawn would have taken it out, no problem whatsoever. Right, as you can see, we're kind of getting we're infringing upon their space a little bit, right? We don't want to. If you can see what we can see, right? We can see a bunch of dots, we can see a commander, but not too much else. But if we look, they ain't that strong. They're not that strong up over here, right? And our sort of army of thugs and pawns, I think it's going to do pretty well. And if these guys want to charge in, I've got my wall of LLTs. I got my 3-star general LLT over here. Look, Black Bat managed to sneak one little pawn through, so that made me think, interesting. And he's made a pretty good walk, right? He's made a pretty good walk. Their commander's getting brave. Boom, goes out. Yeah, he's taking out a good chunk of the army. Yep, that's true. But then again, a good chunk of the army still remains. And I still got my my army there. A little bit slow off the draw, but nevertheless, I'm getting my repairs in now. So idea is repair, reclaim, repair, reclaim. This is the way, right? This is the way, and we're gonna just keep moving forward and try and take up land. Not sure what he's gonna get out of making all of this wind right up the front, right? You're just asking for trouble. You're asking for all sorts of bad things to happen to you when you're doing that. Bunch of res bots come in. The Legion res bots. They're just gonna get absolutely bombarded upon from doing that. Now the problem here for us was the ships. The ships. I mean, with a tier 1 army, you really don't have an answer for naval fleets, right? That's just the reality of heavy metal costing units against these, right? Much more weaker, don't have the range or the firepower, to be completely honest with you, to really worry any ships. Okay, wicked. No, he's not in danger. It's just commentary, communication, which is always good. Right, so they got some Centurions up. Now, Centurions are very, very good machines, right? They could take a punishment, but sometimes you just have a force that's just going to overwhelm them, right? And that's exactly what's happened there. I mean, they're calling in, oh, it's a kick ban. That's a bit harsh. I think, yeah, that's our guy playing the C, because I think through the game he was just he was just nervous, and I think like sometimes that nervousness can come out as negativity, right? But look, we all gotta play our part, right? We all gotta play our part. I mean, you guys all know how much I enjoy the sea, right? Okay, Grandor, he's getting low on health. He's trying to get some D guns off, but he ain't happening. My pink army, my hot pink army is moving in for the kill, getting 1 or 2 more shots in. Yeah, his base goes down, boom, he's out. And I feel real good about that. Reason being, I didn't really lose too many units there. Look, I've got a free chevron mace up in here, right? And a free chevron fug. You know, this is an army. And look at that. I mean, just look at the front. Yeah. Have the straights at the point of 10 minutes ever look so beautiful? When you're winning, that is. I've been on the receiving end of similar things. Yeah, and so I know what it's like. I know what it's like to lose. Okay, this unit here. I really like this. The phalanx. Real beefy, you know, he's like a bullet sponge. Honestly, it's like a bullet sponge. I was gonna send these units down, you know, from the instruction from Black Cat, but I saw this chunky little thing, and I thought, he's soaking up a lot of damage, and he was doing really well against my comrade. So I thought I'll try and move in to help. And yeah, I mean, this is a really good counter. I'd say it's probably a unit that's a 1.5. So I do believe this comes out the, or is it a tier 2? I don't really know. Guys, if you know, let me know. Because he certainly, he did the trick. Did the trick. Look, I've got my commander up there. I don't know why I'm getting the trees. Because I'm on a massive reclaim sort of field. Blue is pinging. Yeah, see, look, now our guy, he's doing the right thing. Yeah, he's got boats. Yeah, up against the sea. That helped me get my units crossed. Look at this guy. What does he want? Does he want a D-gun to the face? Because I feel like he wants a D-gun to the face. Boom. That's what happens. Look, an army of those phalanxes, right? I think any commander is going to be in a lot of problems. A lot of problems. But a single one, yeah, I'm okay with it. That's not going to worry me too much. You got Black Bat, who's I don't really think he's struggling for energy. Maybe it was just a little blip. But yeah, look, I've got some of my army near his as well, because I do think that this particular blue player, he's still lethal. He's still lethal because he's the one that's coming up with these units, or he's getting them. It is a tier 2. Yeah. So that guy's lethal. He's a worry. He's a worry. So I realized that, look, I can't hold this section here, right? I can't hold it. I need to move my commander back, because if I try to be a hero and try and D-gun all of these, I'm just gonna end up getting killed, right? However, if they get past my army, I'm gonna have to take care of these guys, right? I'm gonna have to show them, boom, what a D-gun is about. Problem is this: the lubricator. Or the diddler's baby oil, right? So we've got the diddler here sending in his boats. That's going to be your new name, lubricator. If you're watching, I'm going to call you Diddy. See, that's interesting. He's moving him away though, because he did damage to me. He worried me. He did damage and he did worry me. Yeah, see, look, even I made a comment at that point thinking, this is going to be tough being here if they've got those ships. Yo, this is what I'm talking about. This is a lot better. This is what you want to see, right? This is what you want to see from, well, if you're in the blue team at this point in time, that's what you want to see. I kept my commander here. You might be thinking, hey, Commissioner, why aren't you sending your commander back like you normally do? Well, it's because I just want to get some D guns off. I want these guys to feel like if they can look at this little pathing. I mean, obviously you can't see that when you're playing, but I realize, just get close to me, son. I see. I want to get my commander up there. Why? Because I just want to get these D guns off. I want to get these D guns off. I feel like that's a good chunk of the of those blobs gone. So I feel good, and it scared them. It scared them. It showed that we're not afraid to get dirty. We're not afraid to start letting off rounds with our commanders. We don't mind. We don't mind that type of play here. So if you look at my base, nothing special. Nothing special. Just a whole bunch of wind. Yeah, a couple of solars. Hardly any. This is really poor. I mean, I should have really had six by now of those. But what I did do is I sent a construction bot up front, right? And that's because I wanted to get, truthfully, just to get radar jammers up there. Oof, what a push! What's this unit called? Hoplit? Hoplit? Hoplite? What a weird name. I mean, they look cool. They look really cool, but yeah, difficult to pronounce that. Yeah, I just wanted to get some radar jammers up, right? I thought if we're going to establish the front section, right, get some of these jammers up, help protect the LLTs a little bit, and any sort of army that I start amassing up over here. Got a radar that's giving us great coverage, excellent coverage. I feel like this radar's doing for us. I was able to get a gauntlet up. If you look at the radius, they're not gonna get any of these mexes. They can kiss these goodbye. I mean, this is the look, yeah, all the 4.3s, they can kiss them goodbye. They don't have them. They don't have them. A little bit of poor play by me. I haven't capped this off, but in my defense, these guys were pushing up, right? So I was a little bit worried about it. I was thinking, if I'll go up and just build, would it be gone in a matter of seconds? So I wanted to establish a little bit more of a presence there. So I wanted to get some more defenses over there. Sheldon balls, these always do great. These always do get great. However, with these bad boys moving in, right, Sheldon should, yeah, they should melt against these types of units. I feel, quick moving, rapid firing. Right, I'm sending my maces up to protect Black Bat's Sheldons. I don't want him to lose these units because distance is something that this is their bread and butter, right? And that was enough. Look at that. Just a series of maces was enough, and hits from the Sheldons once they had a bit of space. That was enough to frighten them. What the hell is this? Oh, the Bastion. Now this is a really, really great, static defense, but I don't know. I feel like with those types of units that close up front, yeah, it's hyper risky because if I was to spam like a whole bunch of pawns, right? Maybe like, I don't know, 30 of them or something like that, and I'll just run them in there. I feel like I could get a surround on this and take it out. Okay, let's see what we got going on. Yeah, our economy player, look, he's doing super good. He's got a massive wind farm, loads of energy converters. Aphis coming up. Right, Aphis coming up. Oh, interesting. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't get that. Is Orange like harassing this guy for a tier one? Why? I'm not sure about that. That I find a little bit odd. Maybe because he's the only person with a tier one, right? Maybe because you wouldn't necessarily want to harass your frontline players to stop your frontline from building more units. I mean, look, he's got our team leader. He's got a tier one lab. It would have been much more beneficial for Iris to ask this guy for a tier one con. You don't really want your frontline guys to stop making units. So yeah, maybe a slight change in the play, right, for our air player moving forward in newer games. Okay, so we've got Black Bat calling for spam. Yeah, I get that. Doesn't make sense. You've got these. I suppose they're kind of like, oh, okay, they got massive range artillery type units. Oh, big damage. Big damage. Now this is how you cause trouble for any team. I mean, these guys are just firing off. I don't think I've got a tier 2 lab. No, I don't. I'm building, but I don't actually have one yet. So I don't really have an answer for these guys. Yeah, I don't really have an answer for these guys. And my hope of the radar jammers blocking it only worked to a certain degree, right? I think they had vision from them sending in spam. Like you could even see from the map, right? They've got a whole bunch of ticks or wheelies. Yeah, they're the tick equivalent, or I should just say scout equivalent, right? From Legion. So that's given them vision, and that's why these guys are able to fire off. I mean, if you look right, there's a ton of metal here. There's a ton of metal here. Really good amount of metal. I don't know why Blue's calling in for a resolution. Because they're not. Oh, that's why. That's why, my friend. Yo, gunships are in. This is an incredible unit. It does everything under the sun, and it also blows up too. Now he's going in for the fusion reactor. What a funky looking fusion reactor. That is really cool. These gunships are gonna be a nuisance. Big trouble. Remember, guys, I say it in so many of my videos. If you've got a solid air player in your team, they make such a difference. They can really be the difference between a win and a loss. A win and a loss. We were losing the fronts at this point. You saw us absolutely demolish it in the beginning. We took down the two bases, right? Pushed quite well. But then they started winning ground again. They started making some strong, long range units firing. They even got these all-terrain bots up in this mountain. But our air player saw it and said, I want to check their anti-air. I want to check their air player. Because look, these guys, how long have they been flying? No air from the blue team. No fighters. No fighters to take these out. So that's the difference, guys. What they got here? I mean, this whole front army has now been taken out. Yeah, Marlon. He's trying. He's trying. He's still holding off the the actual straits itself. But air player's doing super. Our air player is absolutely killing it. And they don't have an answer. Look, now this is so bad. I mean, I don't even have an army really at this stage, right? I'm trying to amass something together, but honestly, it's all fourth stage at this point. Fourth stage is just absolutely brutalizing them. They're not even making the anti-air bots. Isn't that weird? Oh, I say that. That's got to be it, right? Yeah, heavy amphibious airbot. Finally, they start realizing. Yeah, look, their air is nowhere to be seen. Interesting. So I've got an anti-nuke up. Might be I might have gotten it up much earlier than what me noticing at this point. Okay, what we got here? Torpedo bombers, love that. The fact that we were getting smited by the sea. Okay, looks like they wanted to do a little bit of a con bomb there. Fair enough, but look, they went for one of the players that wasn't doing the most amount of damage to them. So how much did we lose there? And thanks for donating the metal. I'm sure fourth stage is gonna love that, and so is our eco player. So that's not too bad. Look, they started doing this to me, right? They started. I mean, the diddler. He he started getting this on, right? He started getting this on. How much could he actually see? I wonder, because I did get a jammer in there. Okay, he was able to see the base, and he's gonna know where the mexes are. Fair dues, right? I feel like I didn't make use of these sniper bots. I mean, what I did, right? If you notice, I put them on hold fire. I put them cloaked because my idea was I wanted to get them up here, see what's there, and just then manually start shooting down things that I want to hit. That was the idea behind doing this type of play. Because if I left them on fire at will, I mean, if a tick or a wheelie or any sort of nonsense unit ran by, they would have shot them and would have gave the game away. Com goes down. That had to be to the planes. Oof. Fiends are in. See, this Marlon guy was holding them down. for all that time, right? And now he's in big trouble. Oh, the Razorback got no answers for this. Razorbacks do actually do decent against aeroplanes, but when you got that many roughnecks, right, shooting at you, surrounding you, there's not really much you're going to be able to do against that. Yeah, this I think he's given up. I think Marlon's like he's throwing the towel. There's not really much he can do, really, in all honesty. There. Yeah, look, the planes are now moving in to the back line. Yeah, I'm just amazed how much flight time these guys had. Yeah, their air player just never, you know, yeah, never had an answer. Right, and I think it's just down to inexperience. I mean, it's just two chevrons, right? So you can't be too critical of the guy. And look, he's that's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. So I think this was a great demonstration of what we tend to say, right? Aggression, aggression. This was a hyper aggressive game, right? Your boy made it to the front page. Yeah, fourth stage absolutely deserves being up in there. Doran as well, yeah, yeah. And I would have loved to have seen Black Cat being up there too. I mean, look, hyper aggression. I said it in one of my more recent videos, or in terms of how to learn to play bar. That video, aggression. That's what gets you the win. Yeah. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.